Welcome back to High Stakes. Elevate your betting game by hitting that subscribe button and ensure you never miss out on our daily content. Want exclusive access to premium betting picks? Join our Patreon. Links are waiting for you in the comment section below. Stay ahead of the game with High Stakes. Georgia State versus Marshall. The Georgia State Panthers currently sit at a 2-3 overall record this season, navigating a challenging start that included an opening loss to Georgia Tech. However, they rebounded with a victory over FCS Chattanooga and made headlines with a remarkable win against Power 5 opponent Vanderbilt at home. Despite these successes, the Panthers have hit a rough patch, suffering back-to-back defeats at home and finding themselves 0-2 in Sun Belt play. In their most recent outing on October 12th, Georgia State fell to Old Dominion with a score of 21-14. The Panthers never held the lead, although they managed to tie the game at 7-7 in the second quarter, which also served as the halftime score. Unfortunately, Old Dominion responded by scoring 14 unanswered points, ultimately sealing the Panthers' fate in a frustrating loss. On the other side, the Marshall Thundering Herd holds a record of 3-3 and sits at 1-1 in the Sun Belt Conference. Their season began with a confident win over FCS Stony Brook, but they quickly faced adversity with consecutive losses to Virginia Tech and number 3 Ohio State. However, Marshall found its footing with back-to-back home victories against Western Michigan and Appalachian State. Yet, their most recent game proved to be a gut-wrenching setback. Marshall's last match on October 12th ended in a heartbreaking 24-23 loss to Georgia Southern. The Thundering Herd seemed poised for victory, leading 23-3 with just 7 minutes left in the game. But the momentum shifted dramatically when quarterback Braylon Braxton was called for intentional grounding in his own end zone, resulting in a safety. Georgia Southern seized the opportunity, scoring 21 unanswered points in the final 6:31 to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. Marshall's final 5 drives ended in disaster: safety, punt, fumble, and interception, yielding a mere 7 yards of offense in the fourth quarter. It was an unfathomable collapse, leaving the Thundering Herd reeling as they regroup for their next challenge. With both teams desperate to find their rhythm, this upcoming matchup promises to be a critical juncture for Georgia State and Marshall as they aim to reclaim their season momentum. Marshall's offense showcased its potential through the first 3 quarters of last week's game, demonstrating the ability to move the ball effectively. However, a sudden collapse in the final moments, characterized by 3 turnovers and a safety in their last 4 drives, cost them dearly. This week, I expect the Thundering Herd to bounce back decisively and secure a comfortable victory on Thursday night. Marshall boasts one of the most formidable rushing offenses in the conference, averaging an impressive 202 yards per game, largely thanks to the dynamic duo of running back A.J. Turner and dual-threat quarterback Braylon Braxton. Their ground game has been a key factor in their offensive success, allowing them to control the pace of play. On the defensive side, Marshall's statistics have been somewhat misleading, largely due to blowout losses to Virginia Tech and Ohio State. Against opponents of similar caliber, they have excelled, racking up 19 sacks this season, with standout defensive lineman Mike Green contributing 8 of those. This defensive pressure will be crucial as they face a Georgia State offense that has struggled mightily, particularly on the road during night games. Georgia State's offensive struggles are exacerbated by their ongoing quarterback dilemma, as neither of their starters has been able to establish command of the position. Their uninspired performance in the recent loss to Old Dominion raises concerns about their ability to find any rhythm. Given this context, I believe the Panthers will find it exceedingly difficult to compete. With the momentum clearly on Marshall's side and the matchups favoring them, I confidently recommend taking the Marshall Thundering Herd -9 points. Expect a strong performance as they aim to solidify their position in the conference and leave a lasting impression. Marshall's defense is poised to dominate in this matchup, showcasing a formidable front that has consistently pressured opposing offenses. Georgia State's rushing attack has been lackluster this season, struggling to find any rhythm, which will undoubtedly hinder their ability to move the ball effectively. As a result, the visitors will face significant challenges in gaining momentum while Marshall maintains control of the clock and the game's pace. The Panthers' inability to establish a running game has been glaringly evident, particularly in their last 2 outings, where they managed a mere 35 combined points at home. This trend does not bode well for their chances against a resilient Marshall defense, which has proven its mettle against weaker opponents. Additionally, the statistics support the expectation of a low-scoring affair. The under has hit in 2 of the Thundering Herds' last 3 games at home and stands at 4-2 during Marshall's overall games this season. With both teams likely to struggle offensively, I strongly recommend taking the under 51 points in this contest. Expect a hard-fought, defensive battle where scoring opportunities will be scarce. Boston College versus Virginia Tech. The buzz surrounding Virginia Tech this season has been palpable, with many experts touting them as a potential dark horse in the ACC race. However, the Hokies find themselves at a disappointing 3-3 overall. Their most recent performance against number 7 Miami was especially gut-wrenching, as they narrowly lost 38-34 in a controversial finish. With only number 10 Clemson remaining on their schedule as a ranked opponent, it's not entirely far-fetched to suggest that Virginia Tech could still make a push in the ACC standings. Under the guidance of third-year coach Brent Pry, they control their own fate, with oddsmakers placing their odds at plus 3,000 to win the conference, the 6th shortest in the market. While I respect Virginia Tech's potential, I'm inclined to back Boston College in this matchup, led by the experienced Bill O'Brien. His track record of success at Penn State and Alabama indicates he's building something promising in Chestnut Hill. Notably, of the 6 games Boston College has played this season, only 1 has resulted in a loss by more than 6 points. That's a significant stat that suggests they can keep games competitive. Furthermore, I'm hesitant to lay a significant number of points with Virginia Tech, especially given their track record against tougher opponents, where they've consistently fallen short. Asking them to cover a near full possession against a resilient team like Boston College is a tall order, particularly when they haven't convincingly stretched leads against quality competition. Prediction: Boston College Eagles plus 6.5 points. Both teams have demonstrated strong defensive capabilities this season. Boston College ranks 31st nationally in points allowed, giving up just 20.6 points per game, while Virginia Tech is slightly behind at 45th, allowing 22.7 points per contest. Moreover, both programs are committed to establishing the run game. Boston College is 32nd in run play percentage, 57.6%, with Virginia Tech not far behind at 38th, 56.8%. With solid running backs on both sides, including Hokies standout Bashal Tuten, 605 yards, 5.7 YPC, I anticipate a hard-fought, low-scoring affair. Prediction: under 49.5 points. Expect a final score along the lines of 24-20, as both defenses rise to the occasion and the ground game dictates the pace of play.